Hi, my name is Tilak. I'm pharma professionals and having 16 years of experience. This channel focuses on basic topics on pharma and API industries. I will share here about best practices in pharma industries, CGMP and guideline related information here. Today I am going to explain about the cleaning validation in API industries. Cleaning validation topic is an ocean. The interpretation on cleaning validation and expectation from the study is vary from person to person as well as auditor to auditor. Let us discuss today about the basics of cleaning validation. I have listed here some of the reference guidelines on cleaning validation. So these guidelines will help you to understand more better. So you can see here EPIC guidelines is the very important guidelines for cleaning validation in API. And the second one is EMA guidelines on setting health-based exposure limits. PICS guideline inspection on health-based exposure limit, assessment and use in quality risk management. Also we have WHO guidelines in that Annex 3, Appendix 3 you can refer. Also USFDA guidelines for equipment cleaning, you can refer the section 211.67 in 21 CFR. Since cleaning validation is very big subject, so I will divide my video into 2 to 3 parts. So this is first part of my cleaning validation topic. Here let us just mainly discuss about cleaning, contamination, type of contamination, criticality of uh, cleaning, cleaning types, selection of cleaning agent, also elemental impurity we'll discuss. In upcoming video, let us discuss more about equipment cleaning techniques, macro calculation, worst case scenario, matrix preparation, how to prepare protocol, rinse and swab techniques, also dirty equipment hold time and cleaned equipment hold time study criteria, etc. will discuss. So, what is cleaning? The physical and chemical process of removing contaminants from process equipment such that the equipment can be safely used for manufacture of subsequent product. What is contamination? Contamination is the condition in which the product contains a material not intended to be present and not listed in the current process as an ingredient. What is cross-contamination? Transfer of contamination or harmful microorganisms from something dirt area to something clean area, and the product contains a material not intended to be present. Possible types of contamination. So here chemical contamination, microbiological contamination, unintended material. Chemical contamination, product residues, decomposition residues, cleaning agent residues, disinfectant residues, these are chemical contamination. Microbiological like bacteria, molds, pyrogens, etc. And unintended material, airborne particle matters, lubricants, ancillary materials, for example, brushes or pieces of brush or unintended material. So we discussed about cleaning, contamination and different types of contamination. Now let us focus on cleaning validation part. Cleaning validation is documented evidence which provides high degree of assurance that a specific cleaning process will consistently clean the process equipment. Why cleaning validation is required? Why it is required? To prove that our cleaning procedure is adequate enough to clean the equipment with predetermined acceptance criteria. And it is regulatory requirement because they are very much worried about their product. Any previous product traces in next product can cause very serious effect on patient. If we have validated cleaning procedure, then it is an assurance for regulatory or customer that our system met the compliance level. It is internal control and compliance. To protect product integrity, cleaning validation is required. To reuse the equipment, our cleaning validation is required. When cleaning validation is required, suppose use of new equipment, introduction of new products in your plant, change in manufacturing process, change in cleaning process, change in cleaning agent. So these times cleaning validation is necessary. Now let us understand the criticality of cleaning. If your manufacturing block or equipment stream is dedicated for particular product, then we can consider here a very less risk contamination. If your manufacturing block or equipment stream are made for multi-product, then risk of previous product contamination is very high, and here a thorough cleaning is required and should prove that the level of previous product content in next product is within predetermined acceptance level. Here I categorized 4 types of cleaning. One is batch to batch, second is periodic or campaign cleaning, third is product changeover, and cleaning after maintenance or breakdown maintenance. Batch to batch cleaning is cleaning between the batches of same product, normally removal of substantial quantity of adhered material by wiping or cleaning with solvents as defined in established procedure. This type of cleaning shall be recorded in equipment logbook. Normally, batch cleaning record for batch to batch cleaning is not necessary. Periodic or campaign cleaning is the cleaning once completion of campaign of one particular product. A thorough cleaning should be carried out. Normally, in dedicated stream of equipment, once the certain number of batches or campaign length is completes, then all equipment should be cleaned with B procedure. B procedure is thorough cleaning. This type of cleaning should have cleaning records. Third part, very important part, is product to product cleaning. This type of cleaning should be done critically. Here we should do thorough cleaning and should ensure that the previous product content should be within the acceptance range by checking the rinse or swab method. Here we should validate the cleaning procedure by considering 3 runs of cleaning. Fourth part is cleaning after maintenance, either breakdown or preventive maintenance. Maintenance of equipment may be done for external part or of equipment, means a non-product contact part, or internal part of equipment like product contact parts. Here one thing we should very carefully ensure that prior handover of equipment to maintenance engineer, equipment should be cleaned, because maintenance engineer or technician may not know the impact of material or chemical used in the equipment. it can cause for safety incident. Also, once maintenance activity completes, we need to clean equipment based on the type of maintenance. If product contact surfaces are impacted during maintenance, then there may be a chances of foreign material enters in the equipment like lubricants, metal particles, black particles, etc. So thorough cleaning to be done. Also, I recommend to verify the rinse sample visually or filtration method. Means filter the rinse sample in filter paper and check the particles present so that we can double ensure that there is no foreign matter present in the equipment. So I will give here reference guideline. There is a EPIC guidelines on handling of insoluble matter and foreign particles in API. So where it details about the how to handle the foreign matters in API. So this is very beautiful guideline. You can refer this guideline. Cleaning types. Less critical. Cleaning of equipment performed between intermediate stages. Different products of equipment used for final stage of equipment. Product proposed to used for the production of an intermediate stage of another product. Here stage 1 for example stage 1 of product A to stage 1 of product B, or final stage of product A to intermediate stage of product B. So here usually 100 ppm general limit criteria shall be applied as a acceptance criteria. Second part is critical, means you can say the level 2 cleaning. Cleaning of equipment performed for intermediate or final stage of one product and is proposed to be used for the production of a final stage of another product. For example, intermediate or final stage of product A to final stage of product B. This is critical type of cleaning. Here we should evaluate very critically, and usually the 10 ppm general limit criteria, also therapeutic daily dose and permissible daily exposure limit PDE criteria shall be applied here. Selection of cleaning agent or solvent is very important because this cleaning agent will remove previous product. The product to be removed should be highly soluble in selected cleaning agent. The solubility criteria shall be justified as recommended in any of the compendial procedure like USP, EP, etc. Also, I recommend to prepare the solubility chart during the development stage of product or initial stage for each product by considering different solvents with different temperature. This will help you to select the suitability of cleaning solvent. And also the solvent should not react with equipment. It should not cause environment health hazard. It should not be contaminant for subsequent product. For example, if your cleaning agent solvent is HCl acid, then this will cause for corrosion. So likewise, some of the hazardous solvent will cause for health hazard. So we should avoid for selection of solvent. These type of solvents or cleaning agents should be avoided. And like solvent must be safe to handle and easily available. Also, hazardous solvents like ICH class 1 should not be selected as a cleaning agent. ICH class 1 solvents are hazardous, toxic and carcinogenic in nature. For example, benzene, carbon tetrachloride, dichloroethane, etc. Class 1 solvents are not supposed to used in the manufacturing process as well as cleaning process. Selection of equipment for process. During process design, we need to consider the right selection of equipment. While selection of equipment in pharma, we should consider its cleanability, suitability with its MOC, easy to access, its part, easy to dismantle, operation ease, etc. Most common used MOC of equipment is SS and GLR because SS and GLR are suitable for most of the chemicals. Some of the metal elements are harmful to human body. It can cause damage for your tissue and adverse impact on health hazard. So I have decided here I should include two slides about the elements impurity here. So we'll light on types of elements, its class, and how to calculate the acceptable level in the API. Because nowadays elemental impurity risk assessment is important requirement of regulatory. Elements like cadmium, lead, arsenic, mercury are class 1 elements, and these are very toxicants that may that should not be used in pharma industry. Other types are class 2A, class 2B and class 3 elements are listed here. The reference guidelines for elemental impurity risk assessment, you can refer ICH-Q3D R1. So this guideline will detail about elemental impurities. Here I listed total 24 elements and its class, acceptable level in API, and whether to consider in risk management or not. If you see here 24 elements, so first 4 elements are class 1 elements, and what is the acceptable level in API, it is listed here based on the formula it is calculated. And also if the class 1 element is used, then it should be considered in the risk management. Remaining classes are not necessary. So if there is a formula to calculate the acceptable level of elemental impurity in API. This is overall concentration in microgram per gram divided by maximum daily dose in gram into 10. So these two slides I included because it will give light on elemental impurities. So friends, thank you very much for your time. I hope I presented some useful information about basics of cleaning validation. Very soon I will prepare second part of cleaning validation video where we will discuss about equipment cleaning techniques, macro calculation by considering therapeutic daily dose, permittable daily exposure PDE and 10 ppm general limit criteria. Also, let us see how to prepare the matrix, worst case criteria, and how to prepare the protocol, rinse and swap techniques, dirty equipment hold time study and clean equipment hold time study, etc. For further updation, please subscribe this channel by clicking the subscription button. Press like button if you like the video. Thank you and we will meet again.